Pesticide are substances that are meant to control pests. The term pesticide includes all of the following: herbicide, insecticides, nematicide, molluscicide, piscicide, avicide, rodenticide, bactericide, insect repellent, animal repellent, antimicrobial, and fungicide. The most common of these are herbicides, which account for approximately 80% of all pesticide use. Most pesticides are intended to serve as plant protection products, which in general protect plants from weeds, fungi, or insects. As an example, the fungus Alternaria solani is used to combat the aquatic weed Salvinia. In general, a pesticide is a chemical, and microbes that destroy property, cause nuisance, or spread disease, or are disease vectors. Along with these benefits, pesticides also have drawbacks, such as potential toxicity to humans and other species. The Food and Agriculture Organization has defined pesticide as: pesticide can be classified by target organism and physical state. Biopesticides include microbial pesticide and biochemical pesticide. Plant-derived pesticide, or botanicals, have been developing quickly. These include the pyrethroids, rotinoids, nicotinoids, and a fourth group that includes strychnine and scleroside. 15 Many pesticide can be grouped into chemical families. Prominent insecticide families include organochlorines, organophosphates, and carbamates. Organochlorine hydrocarbons, ureas, and chloroacetanilide, phenoxy compounds tend to selectively kill broadleaf weeds rather than grasses. The phenoxy and benzoic acid herbicides function similar to plant growth hormones and grow cells without normal cell division, crushing the plant's nutrient transport system. 300 triazines interfere with photosynthesis. 335 Many commonly used pesticides are not included in these families, including glyphosate. The application of pest control agents is usually carried out by dispersing the chemical in an solvent surfactant system to give a homogeneous preparation. A virus lethality study performed in 1977 demonstrated that a particular pesticide did not increase the lethality of the virus. However, combinations that included some surfactants and the solvent clearly showed that pretreatment with them markedly increased the viral lethality in the test mice. Pesticide can be classified based upon their biological mechanism, function, or application method. Most pesticide work by poisoning pests. A systemic pesticide moves inside a plant following absorption by the plant. With insecticides and most fungicides, this movement is usually upward and outward. Increased efficiency may be a result. Systemic insecticides, which poison pollen and nectar in the flowers, may kill bees and other needed pollinators. In 2010, the development of a new class of fungicides called puldoxins was announced. These work by taking advantage of natural defense chemicals released by plants called phytoalexins, which fungi then detoxify using enzymes. The puldoxins inhibit the fungi's detoxification enzymes. They are believed to be safer and greener. Since before 2000 BC, humans have utilized pesticide to protect their crops. The first known pesticide was elemental sulfur dusting, used in ancient Sumer about 4,500 years ago. In ancient Mesopotamia, the Rig Veda, which is about 4,000 years old, mentions the use of poisonous plants for pest control. By the 15th century, toxic chemicals such as arsenic, mercury, and lead were being applied to crops to kill pests. In the 17th century, nicotine sulfate was extracted from tobacco leaves for use as an insecticide. The 19th century saw the introduction of two more natural pesticides: pyrethrum, which is derived from chrysanthemums, and rotenvin, which is derived from the roots of tropical vegetables. Until the 1950s, arsenic-based pesticides were dominant. Paul Muller discovered that DDT was a very effective insecticide. Chlorinates such as DDT were dominant, but they were replaced in the US by organophosphates and carbamates by 1975. Since then, pyrethrum compounds have become the dominant insecticide. Herbicides became common in the 1960s, led by triazine and other nitrogen-based compounds. carboxylic acids such as 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, and glyphosate. The first legislation providing federal authority for regulating pesticide was enacted in 1910. However, decades later during the 1940s, manufacturers began to produce large amounts of synthetic pesticide, and their use became widespread. Some sources consider the 1940s and 1950s to have been the start of the pesticide era. Although the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency was established in 1970 and amendments to the pesticide law in 1972, pesticide use has increased 50-fold since 1950 and 2.3 million tons of industrial pesticide are now used each year. 75% of all pesticide in the world are used in developed countries, but use in developing countries is increasing. A study of USA pesticide use trends through 1.